morning, everybody. Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here, coming at you with my usual weekly Flosstube video. I hope you guys are doing well. First I'm going to say, excuse the mess going on back here. You know, it was a mess when we were packing. It hasn't gotten any better. It's gotten worse because I'm pulling stuff out that had been packed away. So, hope you don't mind the backdrop. Yeah, Mike and I are doing well. My in-laws are doing well. The boys are doing well. So far, so good. I hope the same can be said for all of you. It is April 7th, 11:06 a.m. It is 79 degrees and getting hot here today. I am up in the loft. I'm feeling rather hot and sweaty. I don't know whether you can tell. But yeah, things are kind of as normal as can be. My in-laws are still moving on Thursday from Surprise, Arizona to Scottsdale to a facility there that is closer to Mayo Clinic, which is a good thing. We are worried about the move, of course. They've thought long and hard about it and decided to go with it, mainly because it will put them closer to, you know, one of the best healthcare facilities in the country, which is a very good thing. But that does mean that they're going to have 5 movers tromping around their house on Thursday and then tromping around their new apartment. So we're all doing well, but the worry continues, right? So yeah, Mike went into work yesterday for a little bit and checked on some things, but other than that, he went to a grocery store a few days before that, early in the morning before, you know, most of the people were up and about. So, you know, we're taking what precautions. For the most part, we are staying here. Anything that comes in, we have deliveries, gets sanitized. So we're doing well, taking one day at a time. I was talking to Maria yesterday and I said, you know, I think this is the first time in my life that I really am just taking it one day at a time, that I'm not anticipating anything, because who knows, you know, how long this is going to take, how long we're going to be here, how things are going to happen afterwards. Who knows? So, lots of stitching though, lots of designing, head going with ideas, which I'm going to talk to you about later and get your opinion on. So yeah, let's get started. I do have a new design done. This is the one I've been working on, Zen Garden. It is not framed, of course, because I have nothing here to frame it in and I can't get out to get anything, but that's okay. So Zen Garden, it is based on some tile work that I saw. I wanted something that had kind of a peaceful feel to it, and I think this accomplishes that. This is available in my store now. So I am very thrilled with how this turned out. I have started to work on the next season design, summer. So hopefully I'll have that out in the next probably couple weeks, because I'll stitch that up first before I release it. Let's see. Lots of stitching. Ideas for new starts too. Some stash building, so much goodness. All right, so I spent some time with Quaker Seasons of Friendship by Crown and Thistle, which is R&R Reproductions, which is the Dying to Stitch ladies in Virginia Beach. You know them, right? Carolyn, Off the Grid Needle Arts, Caroline, started this as her Friday, as her high tea start, April 1st. And so I decided, instead of starting something new, that I would pull this out in solidarity. So this is the design, Crown and Thistle, R&R Reproductions gal. So Seasons of Friendship, winter, spring, that's the bunny, summer, no, that is winter. Summer's over here because it has the lobster, it has seahorse, kind of like a compass rose here, and then fall here with acorns and squirrels. So kind of seasonal motifs. I am stitching this with Mrs. Sadas's copper colorway, silk floss. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And this is what I got done. So I am starting on winter in the upper left corner. What I got done was the rest of this kind of archway here, this bottom here, and then these motifs over here. So not a whole lot. I am undecided whether this will get put back away or not. I'm also using a R&R Reproductions fabric. This is a 40 count weathered shingle. So the copper on weathered shingle. Oh, so pretty. So yeah, I don't know. So much stitching, so little time. And speaking of which, speaking of an oldie but goodie, not really an oldie, but one I've kind of let slide, is the Time for Season Stitch Along. So this is by the Bay Needle Arts. This is a 35 count raw linen. I have my own color conversion, of course. So each season I'm starting kind of over, you know, well, whatever's used from the previous season, and then pulling out what I need. The first part of spring is already out. The second part of spring will be coming out April 15th. I am still working on autumn. I have just pretty much finished. I still have a cloud to do up here, but I've pretty much finished the first part of autumn and have started into the second part of autumn. Love it, love it, love it. So much. So I've been working on this every evening, and I'm going to continue to work on this pretty steadily. Maybe it'll slip back to an hour a day once I start some of the other new starts. Certainly when I have to start stitching one of my designs, it'll get slipped back. And that's the problem, you know? There's always something new coming up. I know, I keep starting new things. It's not because I have to, except for my designs, because I got to stitch those. I have been continuing to work on Jane Marshall. So this one will be done relatively soon. I just have a few more lines of alphabets to do at the top. Again, Mrs. Sada's silk floss and my own colorway. This is not the one that Raquel did put together on her own. Some of our colors are similar, but I did choose different ones. I still have to finish. I have to get more of the white out to finish the white in that row. But this gets an hour a day, every morning, and that will get done in a few days. So, and then my Stitch With Me last week, if you did not see it, I pulled out Narnia. This is my own design, because Tamara Bowen showed hers and I was so inspired by her oxide that I had to pull out mine. So this is, again, Mrs. Sada's silk floss, this time in her oxide colorway. That poor girl, when Spain finally gets out of quarantine and she's able to start working again and opens her shop, she's gonna be inundated. Raquel, I'm sorry. I know, you don't really mind. So I did work on this in my Stitch With Me, and I continued that evening. So I got this edging of this kind of handkerchief thing done. I got this little motif done, and more of the work inside the square done. I'm aiming to get over to the other circle on this side of this diamond to get that done. But this is taking a back seat to other things for the most part. The oxide floss, golds, blues, grays, and so many colors in between as the colors flow from one to another. Just a stunning, stunning colorway. Even if you don't know what you're gonna do with it, I think you should get some. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been stitching on. Let's see, what did I want to share with you? Okay, That'll be at the end. New starts. I'm gonna hold off on stash here for a second. No, maybe I better do stash first because stash will lead to new starts. Okay, good idea, Jan. I feel like I'm not talking very much. Is this going fast? It's only 10 minutes, huh? Guess so. I'm out of the flow of these. I decided not to do a live one again. I may still do the live Stitch With Me's. I've had several people, and I've been wondering about this, so I was really glad for the feedbacks, say that they don't like the live videos because they feel like they're, I love what the one person said. She feels like she's at a party she wasn't invited to. And that's not a good feeling. That's certainly not a feeling I want to convey during these times, right? We don't need any help feeling shut off from each other. So I am still figuring out how to do a Zoom video. And I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting my brain around it. People all over the stitching world and all over all kinds of different worlds are using Zoom. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just my introverted self not wanting to come out of my shell any more than I already am. I don't know. But anyways, more about that later. Maybe. I splurged a little bit. It wasn't much of a splurge because it's a really good price. I think I mentioned in my last video, my last Flosstube video, that Color and Cotton was doing a mystery floss bag sale, $10 for 5 skeins. I got 2 of them and they did come yesterday. So I haven't even taken them out. Now it does say on them, let's see, mystery thread grab bag, 5 skeins, threads may be mislabeled. So if I'm just using them for my own self, that's not a big deal. It'd be a big deal if I was going to use them for designing, which I would kind of like to do. Yeah, there's 2 here that are labeled bronzed, but they're 2 different colors. So the reason she did these mystery grab bags is because these are ones that were, my understanding is, were like one-offs, dies that didn't work out the way she wanted, or, you know, there was some other problem with them. But this is the 1 pack. And both of these are very kind of fall, autumn colors. So not necessarily my favorite colors, but certainly colors that I will be able to work with. And that actually might make an appearance in the spring palette for Time for Seasons. And then the second one, this one is more kind of Halloween-y, which you know how much I love Halloween, right? That would be a big no. Oh, Aged Pumpkin. Aged Pumpkin is actually out of stock. But again, it could be mislabeled, and I don't think that's the right dye lot that she wanted. So, and some of these don't have labels at all. But more, with the orange and the gray there, kind of more of a Halloween-y, except these 2 on the end. Pretty green and yellow. And I mean, that's a pretty apricot too, isn't it? So, thrilled to have more Color and Cotton floss. I am not a member of their clubs at all, and it makes me want to join. I think they have a waiting list though, but I haven't looked into it. I had mentioned that I had placed an order with Kitten Stitcher, Teresa, and that order came in. This was other things that I wanted from Market. Now, caveat, there was a note, I don't know whether it was in the order or on her website, that, or maybe she sent out an email. So if you are one of her, on her email newsletter list from her website, you would have seen this. Mississippi finally issued their stay-at-home order, which is where she lives. So that means that her son and his girlfriend could not come over to her house, or can no longer come over to her house to help her with the shipping and the orders and, you know, everything they do. So she just wanted to let people know that we will see a slight slowdown. She's still going to be shipping and ordering, or, you know, shipping orders, but there will be a slight slowdown in the processing because she is back to being a 1-person team again. So what did you get, Jan? Brenda Gervais Baltimore Salt Box. This is over 1, stitched over 1 on a 28 count mushroom Lugana, which is pretty standard for her over 1s. I love this. And of course, Baltimore. I lived there in that area for most of my adult life, so felt I needed that. And then the Salt Box Quilt Sampler. Love this. And this will go with my whole Salt Box montage. The Salt Box is from Plum Street Sampler, the series from last year. As soon as I get them stitched. You know, in my earlier stitching days, back in the late 80s, early 90s, I think even into the later 90s, I had a lot of the quilt type designs from Told in a Garden, you know, that whole series of things, and all kinds of other quilt designs. My plan was to have a bedroom that was kind of quilt themed, and have all the quilt stuff up on the walls. That never happened. I never got those stitched. So we'll see. That's my plan though. I also got Ida Holt from Hands to Work. Hands to Work is an older designer who has come back to designing recently. She has a Flosstube channel and she showed this and I immediately fell in love with it. And she had mentioned that she was going to be re-releasing this at market. This is one of her old designs. And I think this is so cool. Totally up my alley. And then French Garden by Samplers Not Forgotten. So this is the one that's kind of the companion piece to the English Garden that I've started on my birthday and haven't worked on again. That's okay. So look how pretty that is. All the different bands, and you know I love a band sampler. So, super pretty. Now, that is not the only stuff I got. Because Carolyn Manning continued to put out more of the shooting star colorways, patterns in those patterns with different colorways. That's what it is. So I'd already shown you, I'm gonna get back up to the top of this. I was getting ready to start this. Come on. I had already shown you this one, right? This is her original colorway. Absolutely stunning. And then she came out with other ones. So I also got Desert Dawn, because Arizona, look at that. God, that's gorgeous. Beachcomber, all of these are down at the bottom of the floss list. Is that my colors or what? Ah, so pretty. And Barn Dance. Now she also has a couple other ones that I didn't get. Look at that. How fun is that? Barn Dance. So I will link to these all below. I will be starting on Sunday with a bunch of other people, Shooting Star and Beachcomber. So I'm starting to get together my my floss things for that. I have some painter's tape on there. You can see this is Beachcomber. I have the floss number and the symbol written on there. So getting those ready to go. I'm going to be doing those over 1 on 25 count Lugana. So this is a cream and this is a, which one is this? This is Overcast. These are both the Lori Holt Fat Quarter Shop colors that they've done, custom colors. So the cream one is, I forget what the color name is for this one. I am doing them over one, so I only need like an 11 by 11 cut of these, so plenty of fabric there. Yeah, I think that's about it. For design work, for shop update, like I said, I am working on spring, or not spring, summer. I'm ordered some floss to see what colors I want to use. I will be charting that in over-dyed floss, so I had to order some in and then figure out which colors I want to use for it. But then I've had another thing going through my brain. Hold on, I'm going back to my notes because I forgot something. Okay, so I mentioned, oh, I wanted to talk about my Stitch Mania plans. I'm gonna do that at the end. So I saw this, pulling up a picture here, on Pinterest. It is a mixed media piece. So very grungy and lots of depth and texture to it, which is just totally up my alley. You can see there's like scrambled letters in the background, different layers. And of course that montage there with the clock and the picture of flowers and the teacup is just gorgeous. Everything about this just called out to me, and I got to thinking, how can I do this in cross stitch? Now, yes, full coverage piece would be an option if I knew who the designer was and I could reach out to them and get their permission. I have searched high and low. This, like I said, I found this on Pinterest. It is linked to one of these like aggregate sites, post-aggregate sites. I couldn't find it on there. It does have a name down here. When I searched on that, I could not find anything. So doing a full coverage piece is off the table. Unfortunately, that would be the easy way, but it wouldn't necessarily be the most interesting way. And this is what is making my brain explode. And some of you who are more traditional stitchers are going to hear what I have to say and think, woman, you are crazy. And I've told you, you never know what crazy idea you're going to come across here, so you're kind of expecting that, right? And then there's others of you that are going to have your head explode like mine and say, oh my God, yes, do it. At least I hope so. I hope I'm not the only weird one out here. But my idea is, what if we have basically 3 different pieces of fabric? One with the lettering in the background, a second one with this stripe here, with this kind of filigree pattern on it, and then another one cut in pieces with this stitched on it, and then kind of raggedy cut up the side to reveal all this going on underneath, and then that's more lettering over there in the corner. What do you think? Is that insane? It would take a lot of trust on your part as a stitcher, and also a lot of being willing to kind of go out on a limb and do some things yourself. I kind of cobbled together some pieces of fabric I have here just to give you a feel for what that might look like. These are all 32 count pieces. Some of them I've actually coffee dyed, so they already have some extra modeling on it. Hold on, that wants to come out. But yeah, now it wouldn't have the same amount of depth and texture as the mixed media piece does. You would also, the part of you going out on a limb and kind of trusting would be kind of doing the ragged cutting, and that would happen at the end to be part of the finishing. Once you have it all kind of pieced together, then you'd want to cut around where the lettering is so that it's revealed, and then kind of fray the edges of the linen. And I know that's like totally against everything we try to do, right? I haven't even started to try and chart this yet. I don't know. And it's not going to have anywhere near the depth of that. And I don't know, I may get halfway into it and think this just isn't going to work. But if you're interested, let me know. Let me know what you think. And if all of you say, ain't no way I would try something like that, then that tells me a lot. So, the other things I wanted to talk about, whoops, breaking things up here. All right, Stitch Mania plan. I am, for the most part, planning a monogamania. I know, stop laughing. I'll wait. You done? My goal is to get Shades of Gold done. If I get that done, I don't really have a second backup. I have to actually look over the different pieces I have and see which ones are closest to being done. But Shades of Gold is at the top of that list. I want to get that done. And if I don't get it done until the end of May, all the better. Now, having said that, I know, stop laughing. I did hear from Fat Quarter Shop. They are starting a mystery stitch along for Mania, and they invited me, just like for Bloomtopia. I'm kind of one of the, you know, host, guest stitchers. They asked me if I wanted to join with them with that. So I said yes, because it's so pretty. Let me show you. If I can get it to come up. Hold on. It's called Feels Like Home. It is available now at Fat Quarter Shop. So that is a little sneak peek on what it looks like. It does start at the beginning of May. Let's see, 5-part series, and after May 29th, the full thing will be revealed. You can have a choice of either Classic Colorworks threads or DMC. They have both of them set up as thread packs. But look at these colors. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Hold on. I mean, those are just my colors. How could I not join in? And you know, if it's little, it's going to be fairly small. Not as small as the different Bloomtopia pieces, for sure. But I think it will be a nice little break. You know, one of the reasons you're laughing at the thought of me doing a monogamania is because I don't do very good with just one project, right? So this will help, right? This will give me a chance to have something else, to not just be stitching on one thing. So I am going to have links down below in the description box of where you can get the pattern, where you can get the thread packs, you know, all of the links, all of the products that they have set up in the shop. Now, I will say that these are affiliate links. I am an affiliate for Fat Quarter Shop. So if you happen to buy them through my affiliate link, I do get a little reward for sending you there to their shop. So yeah, that's what May is going to look like here. I don't think I did a daily video last year, right? I did a daily video the day before, or the year before. I don't know about that yet. I think it's going to depend on how we're all doing in May. You know, just mentally and just how things are going. I'm not making any promises about anything at this point because we just don't know what the future holds. But anyways, that's kind of where I'm going. Plus whatever designs that I have out that I've designed that I need to stitch on, those will have to happen too. All right, guys, I think that is it, except for our angel. God is love, and the angel holding the heart. So what does it say? You are a miracle. Think about all of the million little things that had to happen to create you. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will join me on my Facebook group. Oh, Zoom. That's what I was going to talk about. All right. So one of the things I'm getting my brain around is, again, how to keep it to a manageable size. And what I would like you to do, and you know, the problem is I want to say, okay, if you can be available on Saturday at 10 a.m. my time, which is 4 p.m. East Coast time, for a Zoom get-together, comment below and say, yes, I'm available. Of those that have commented below, I am going to pull maybe 10 of you. And hey, if there's only 10 that are available, that's fine. On Friday, I will be pulling the names and letting you know. I will be getting in touch with you. You need to, I will be doing it Friday morning my time. So probably after my Stitch With Me video, or maybe before. I'm making this up as I go along, can you tell? I think I will do it before, and then I can also announce the names on my Stitch With Me video. Am I gonna do a live video on Friday? I don't know. Probably not. I'd love the interaction. I love the interaction because it also gives me things to talk about. One of the hardest things about a Stitch With Me video is to keep up a dialogue. Not a dialogue, a monologue for enough length of time to make it worthwhile, right? But anyway, this is it. Comment below if you are available. And the rest of the world, you'll have to figure out what time it is your time on Saturday morning. For me, 10 a.m., whatever time it is for you. And let me know if you're available for Zoom. I am going to pull 10 names. I will reply to your comment that you'll have to send me an email. I will announce on my Stitch With Me that you'll have to send me an email. I'll announce the names I've picked, because then I will reply to that email with the link information you need to join the Zoom conversation. Does that make sense? I hope so. We'll give it a whirl. I also plan on doing just ad hoc Zoom things through my Facebook group. So that is the Jan Hicks Creates Stunning Cross Stitch Designs Facebook group. And that's going to look like just, hey, anybody here available to chat? Here's the information you need to link up. You know, it could be when Mike decides he wants to play a game. I don't need to use my computer or my iPad for a pattern, whether it's paper or on Pattern Keeper. I still have enough patterns in Knit Companion that I use my iPad a lot for my patterns. But yeah, it'll just be ad hoc whenever it works. And then we'll just see how that works out. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Join me on the Facebook group if you're interested in more chatter. Otherwise, I think that's it. Hope you guys are doing well. Please keep in touch. I haven't put up a check-in thread in this past week on my Facebook group. I'm gonna do that so I can hear from you guys, see what you're doing this week and how things are going. For now, I'm pretty darn hot up here, so I am going to say goodbye, and I will see you guys Friday. Remember, I love you. Please take care. Please stay inside. Keep all of your family and friends inside, and we will get through this and be together again. Well, we're going to be together again online, not online, whichever way. So until then, guys, I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.